You're listening to the High Upside Show, a podcast that allows people like you and me to invest our money in a more entertaining way. My name is Keenan Rivals. I'm a photographer by the day, but I make most of my money by flipping cards. In this show, I'll be sitting down with you and sharing my best practices. You'll learn my process, the lessons I've learned, and more importantly, who you should be buying. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the show. It's your boy Keenan Rivals, and I'm back today with another episode. Over the last few days, I've noticed a trend in the sports card market and, mainly basketball. That's what we tend to deal with here. And I've noticed a lot of people have been buying sports cards. I'm not sure if it's because the whole Kobe Bryant tragedy or if it's because Gary Vee has been talking about it a little more lately, but people are reaching out. They're in the DMs. They're like, hey, I need to know more about this space. Where can I buy cards? How do I go about getting them? And I tend to forget that those questions are even questions. I'm somebody who's been doing this for years. And to me, buying sport cards is just second nature. I know exactly where to go. I know all the spots. I know all the websites. I know all the tricks. And yeah, I just tend to forget that sometimes that's the information you're looking for. Some of you who listen to this podcast have never even physically owned a sports cards or opened up a pack. So I thought in today's episode, we can kind of talk about that. Now, what I'm going to do to make this one a little bit special is I'm not going to just tell you where to buy sport cards at, but I'm also going to share how you can save money when you're buying sports cards in some of these places. It's something that's definitely, important and that needs to be talked about, especially with just eBay charging, taxes now. And, you got the PayPal fees and you got the shipping fees. If you can save a few dollars on every purchase, that's definitely going to shave off some of those fees and, just going to allow you to have some higher profits. So yeah, where do you buy cards at? Well, the first place that you can go buy a card is obviously your local retail store, a Target, a Walmart, a Meijer, wherever you live at, whatever you have, they tend to have sport cards. You can mostly find these by the checkout or sometimes they're in a toy section. Now lately, these cards have been selling out. People are going to buy them by the shelf. If there's a shelf full of cards, someone's just taking their arm, putting them behind the cards and shoving all the cards into their basket. So they're definitely a hot commodity right now. But if you can find some, that's going to be the first place to get them. Most or pretty much all cards are pulled from packs. There's not some place where you can just go buy single cards. They normally come from packs and then there's a person who's selling those cards. Now, the thing about buying packs of cards is that it's hit or miss. You may not get the guy you're looking for. You might buy all those cards and still get nothing. It's gambling at its best. There's no guarantee that you're going to get what you want. There's a chance that you can just pull a bunch of nobodies after opening 100 packs, and it's extremely risky, and there's also a chance that you can pull that super rare card. But again, it's like hitting the lotto. It's not something that I recommend. It's not something that I do, but you can do that. You can go to your local retail stores and you can make some money off that. If you get those packs when they first come out, when they're hot, people are paying top dollar for them, you might be able to yield some profits. Now, the cool thing about buying, packs of cards from retail shops is that, again, they're likely in the toy section. So you'll find that sometimes if a Target is running a special on toys, buy one, get one 20% off, or if Meijer has a buy one, get one 50% off, the next toy, then those coupons can be utilized on cards. So whenever you're going to buy from those retail locations, be sure to check that toy section, see if there's some coupons, check online. It definitely happens a lot during the holidays, and that can save you a ton of money when buying those packs. The next place to go is your local card shop. Now, they're probably not going to have any coupons or anything of that nature for you to save money on, but what they have is something called hobby packs. When you go to a hobby store, you get a different kind of pack from the retail store. I know for a lot of you people who are new, this is going to be really confusing, but if I had to explain it in a way that can make sense, it's like if you go buy ketchup from Target, you get ketchup. You get Heinz ketchup and it's Heinz and it tastes good and it's great and you got your ketchup. But if you go to Costco and you get Heinz ketchup, you get the big bulky version that you can only get at Costco. Still Heinz ketchup, still tastes the same, but you just get more bang for your buck. That's what a hobby pack is. It's the Costco version of the sports car world. You go get a pack, you're going to have a higher chance to pull that autograph or that parallel or whatever. You're going to have more value. Now it's going to cost more, but again, you're going to get more bang for your buck on a per dollar average. With that being said, buying hobby packs from your local sports card shop, it's still a gamble. There's no guarantee that you're going to get a high-end card. You might just have a higher probability of getting two really horrible players, So again, not something that I do, not something that I recommend. But if you like that adrenaline, you like taking those risks, if you want to open boxes, that's kind of where you want to start at. So yeah, if you're looking for boxes, if you're looking to open some packs, those are going to kind of be your only resources to really get them. Obviously, your card shop might be a comic shop, or it might be, a resale shop. Now, what you're probably asking yourself is like, well, what do you recommend? How do you get your cards? And I'm somebody who buys cards just, off third-party websites. I buy them from other people. I buy them from eBay. That's probably the main place to get them. Now, the thing about eBay, they are charging sales tax in pretty much every city now. So the cost of entry is a little bit higher. But I like that eBay, you can just go buy what you want. I can go type in Ben Simmons and just look at Ben Simmons cards. And that's going to allow me to accumulate those cards as an investor. In terms of liquidity or availability, eBay is definitely the probably like the number one place to go buy right now. You're always going to be able to find a card on eBay. Someone's always selling. If I want a Giannis Select Silver Rookie BGS 9.5, I type that in and that's what pops up. I don't have to go through the frustration of trying to find it in a pack or trying to search through somebody else's cards in person. Like eBay is just the easy filter. And it's just the easiest place to go. A lot of people are like, oh, what if eBay scams me? Or what if this happens? And what if that happens? And those things can happen pretty much anywhere. You can go to Walmart, buy a pack of cards, and somebody can open it and return it. There's going to be some times where things are a little weird, where things are a little fishy. And that's just the cost of doing business sometimes. It's a high commodity market. So people are, finding loopholes and finding ways to kind of, mess up the system. But if you do your research, if you pay attention to feedback, you can really learn to master eBay. And it's just a good place to get some really great values. You can find a lot of steals on there. And you could just buy in bulk. It's not, these cards are rare, they're limited. So if you want 10 cards of one player, that might be hard to do. It might be hard to hunt that down. It might be hard to pull those out of packs. But on eBay, you could just go buy 10 cards and save yourself a lot of time and a lot of money. Now, much like Walmart or Meijer or any other retail shop, eBay does have a lot of, good value in terms of sales and coupons. There's something called eBay Bucks. A lot of people who buy sports cards don't even know about it. You can go to eBay Bucks, sign up for free, and every so often they'll have a promotion where you can like save 8% or save 10% on your purchase. I remember during the holiday, I ended up getting like $400 back in eBay Bucks just because I bought a large number of sports cards, and that $400 went a long way. So if you're paying, 6% in tax like I do here in Michigan, if you're getting 8% back every month, at the end of the month, then that's just, you're winning at that point. You're winning 2%, you're saving money. And it's just so simple to sign up. It's almost a no-brainer. It can't hurt you. It's just free money back. If you're not familiar with eBay Bucks, I left a little link in the description so you guys can go check it out, go sign up. If you're not using it right now, then you definitely need to. It's just a no-brainer. And yeah, that 8%, those 10%, coupons they give you, those are on a one-off basis, but you get 1% for every purchase you buy no matter what. So if eBay is not running any specials, you still get the 1% back. It doesn't seem like a lot, but these cards can be expensive. They can be hundreds and thousands of dollars. So that's definitely going to come in handy. 1% of $1,000 is nothing to, shake at. That could be the money you use to buy that risky player or to just buy something else off eBay. So definitely look into eBay Bucks. Doesn't hurt you, doesn't cost you any money. And if you're an investor, if you're somebody who's using the platform, it's basically a no-brainer. Okay, guys. I know you guys are loving the tips. I know you're feeling the podcast, but I have to interrupt it really quickly because I'm doing a giveaway. I know a few of you are like, yes, giveaway time. This is what I'm here for. And I know a few of you are like, giveaway? What is he talking about? If you don't know about the giveaway, that's because you don't follow me on social, Twitter, Instagram at High Upside Show. That's where I'm going to be giving away a lot of this information, letting you guys know when things are coming out, podcasts, giveaways. It's going to be a lot of information on there that you may not get on the podcast. When things happen in real time, that's where I go post pretty much right away. So I thank all of you for listening to the podcast. But if you want to know just kind of what's going on a day-to-day, real-time basis, I do recommend you go follow me on Instagram or Twitter at High Upside Show. So what are we giving away? Well, we're giving away a Prism Red, White, and Blue Michael Porter Jr. rookie, and this one's graded a PSA 9. This is a significant card. You guys will kind of learn more of why I picked this card to give away probably on the next episode. But yeah, this is the opportunity to own a Michael Porter Jr. rookie card that is graded. You guys know I'm big on Michael Porter Jr. I think the kid's going to bubble. I think he's going to be one of the best players from that draft class. We're talking about a draft class that has Trae Young and Luka Doncic. So yeah, this is an opportunity to win this card for free, maybe hold on to it and see what happens with him. You know, again, I'm really high on him, so I'm hoping you guys are excited about this giveaway. Now, how do you enter? Well, it's really simple. I made a post on Instagram and Twitter, and all you have to do is share the post and tag 3 friends. So share the post on Twitter, share it on Instagram, tag 3 of your friends, let them know about the contest. They'll do it as well, and that's going to allow you to enter for this contest. If you do it on Instagram and Twitter, you're going to double your chances to win because I'm going to pick one random winner from those platforms. So definitely look out for that. And let's get back to the show. Another really good tool to use when shopping on eBay is Ebates. They're kind of like a third-party site. They're going to allow you to save 2% on every purchase you buy from eBay. And yes, you can combine that with the eBay bucks. So if eBay is giving you 8 or 10% and Ebates is giving you 2%, now you're getting 12% back on every purchase. I'll also leave a link to that below so you can sign up for that and kind of combine those two. If you use Chrome or the Brave browser, then you can actually get the Ebates extension and it'll just pop up every time you're about to check out. So you can never forget to go through Ebates to buy your stuff. So definitely can save some money in that regard. 12% back sounds awesome to me. And when you're buying a car that's $1,000, that's going to be a big win for you. So yeah, a little hack there to save some money. I would say those platforms are the most popular to buy sports cars from. If you ask your average sports car collector or investor, they're going to point you in that direction. And from here, it kind of gets a little more, difficult. Once you kind of, are looking outside of eBay, let's say you just don't want to pay those taxes, that 6% or that 8% or wherever you live. It's just adding up. It's cutting into your profits. You might want to deal with somebody on a person-to-person basis. And that's when you kind of tap into the community and you find these like small forums. Forums is pretty much like how basketball cards started. That's where I started from 10 years ago. They're still going strong today. There's not many forums left in the world. Everyone's kind of switched to Reddit or, whatever other platform, but basketball card forums, sports card forums, they're still ticking. Now the forums are a little more, risky. They're a little more, person to person. There's no middleman, like eBay to kind of delegate what goes on. There's no governance, So when you go on a forum, you're really relying on feedback, on community, on trust. And these forums are all over the place. One of the biggest ones right now is Blowout forums. Blowout sells a lot of the hobby boxes we talked about earlier, but they also offer a forum for collectors and investors to go talk about sports cards. So there you can go buy, sell, and just talk about the hobby. They're not really keen to investors. If you're somebody who's investing in a hobby, they might have a little bit of negativity towards you if you want to just discuss the hobby, because they're like passionate collectors. They love it. And, investors are driving up the prices and investors are, making it harder for them to collect. So keep that in mind if you want to just have like discussion. But in terms of buying and selling, it's pretty simple. Obviously, selling your cards on a forum is going to take a lot longer than it will on eBay because you're looking for the right buyer. You have to post it at the right time, but it does allow you to get cards at a cheaper price point. For example, I bought a Michael Porter Jr. Optic Hollow off eBay a little while back, and it was like $225. And I found that same card on Blowout forums, and I got it for $170. And that's because a lot of people prefer to sell outside of eBay, because when you sell on eBay, you get those eBay fees. eBay charges you 10%, 12% to sell. So if you can sell that card on a forum, you get to avoid those fees as a seller. So sellers tend to make the prices a little bit cheaper, which really benefits you, the buyer, because you get to avoid paying that tax and that high price point. So yeah, if you want to go on forums, it's a little more experience involved, but Blowout Forums is a really good one. There's some great Facebook groups. If you want like links to those, just DM me and I can invite you to the groups. And that's pretty much like where people get cards from. You buy and sell on these groups, people who are interested in the hobby, and you're kind of just bouncing cards back left and right. I might sell a card of one guy, then buy a card of another guy. So it's a really small community, but we spend a lot of money, so it really works out. Lastly, I want to talk about two places that are either forgotten or they're just kind of like not that popular to buy cards from. One is Beckett. If you collected cards a while back, you probably know Beckett from just being like the magazine that tried to predict or give you a value of what the cards were worth. But they also have an online market for hobby shops, and a lot of people who own sports card shops or hobby shops, they'll list their cards on Beckett and sell them to the public. And I love Beckett because no one shops there. Like, you can go there and find like base cards or refractors or parallels that aren't that popular, but they might have a lot of potential. For example, I recently bought a 2018-19 optic hollow of LeBron James right when they were kind of blowing up. People were starting to pay like $30-$40 for them, and I went on Beckett and I found one for $10. And they're normally cheap like that because a lot of these hobby shops, they're not in touch with the market. They're not like paying attention to the price of every card. So they're normally listing their cards in bulk. They're trying to clear inventory. And once they go on Beckett and they list them, they likely tend to forget about them because they just sit in one of their many boxes. So I've been able to go in there and find some really good deals. Like when Dominus Optic blew up, like I was able to go buy LeBron James hollows, Giannis's hollows, James Harden, Klay Thompson, and I was able to buy them in bulk because these hobby shops are opening so many boxes, and I was buying them for like $1 a pop and selling them for like $8 a pop. So if you know your cards, there's a good opportunity there with places like Beckett. Obviously, that's for a more experienced person or somebody who's, when you kind of get to that level, but there's definitely some money to be made there if you know what you're doing. It's also just keen to notice that Beckett might also overprice some cards, So just be careful when you buy, do your research, know what the cards are worth before you buy them. You don't want to go to Beckett and pay $300 for like a Lucas status rookie. That hobby shop might be in Dallas and they might overprice their card, and that's obviously not lucrative for you. So in addition to that, there's StockX. That's another place that's kind of up and coming. StockX doesn't have a lot of liquidity right now, meaning if you want to like move your cards or buy some cards, you're probably going to have to wait. It's not going to be a same day transaction or an instant transaction. And sometimes that's fine. Sometimes you're looking to just list your cards and use StockX's, software to know where the market's kind of heading. But as time goes on, they may be a good place to buy some cards. And the reason I mentioned StockX in this How to Save Money episode is because sometimes people can go list on StockX and forget about it. Like, let's say you got a Giannis rookie and the Giannis rookie's going for $1,500. You throw it on StockX. It sits there for 3 weeks. Nothing happened. Nobody buys it because there's no liquidity. But then Giannis just like takes a leap. He wins MVP or he wins a championship or he just is killing it, which he's doing right now. And then that $1,500 card is now worth, $4,000. There's a strong chance that it still may be available on StockX. That buyer may not have went and updated it, or he might have forgot about it. So you might be able to like run back there and get some steals just because the liquidity isn't there. So StockX is definitely a play, definitely some place you want to look into. And with them being a new platform, they do tend to run some specials sometimes. Whether you're a seller or buyer, StockX tends to have some really good deals on cards where you can save 10% by using somebody's affiliate link, or save 40%, on listing fees if you're a seller. So that's obviously a big benefit compared to a site like eBay. Last but not least, we have CoMC or CoMC. Check out my cards is what it is. And they're a really innovative space. I like that site a lot. I've been buying from there a lot just because they make buying super, super easy. It's a lot to explain, in one episode. But essentially, CoMC or Check Out My Cards, they're a warehouse full of basketball cards or sports cards, that are sent in by people like me. And what's really cool about it is that they allow you to send your cards in bulk. So you might send them 200-300 cards, they add them to the platform for sale, and then you, the buyer, can then go buy those cards. The cool thing about their platform is that when you buy the cards, they're not instantly shipped to you. They're just transferred into your name. CoMC still holds them. They still warehouse them. So let's say if you're new into the space and you're just looking to make some money, now you don't have to worry about the inventory or taking care of the card because they're responsible for that. You're just going to have your cards in a portfolio like you would a stock or like you would, I don't know what other asset does that, but you don't physically have the card. From there, you can decide to just relist the card at a higher price or just hold the card. Or if you're really anal like me, you can have it shipped to you. I think what I like about them the most is that they allow me to get the card in person, but I can wait till I buy 30 or 40 cards before I have them ship it. That way I only have to pay for shipping once. When you buy off eBay, you pay like $3 or $4 per card in terms of shipping. So if I can buy 100 cards and save on $4 per card, that just saved me $400. So I really like that platform for that reason. They also just tend to have some really competitive prices, and you can get cards in bulk that you normally wouldn't be able to buy, because you're not paying for that shipping. You can go buy, 50 Prism rookies of Michael Porter Jr. and just pay $2 per card instead of $5 per card. So I know it's a little confusing. I might do a full episode or blog post on how CoMC works and how it can save you some money. But yeah, those are really the places right now to buy cards. Those are your resources. That's where the liquidity is going to be at. That's where the market's kind of trending. And it's really not that complicated. You type in the player you want. If you're looking for a graded card, you type in the grade and you just hit search. What I love about a lot of these platforms is that you can save your search. So say if you go to eBay, you want Michael Porter Jr. PSA 10 Prism Silver rookie, I can save that, and then every time a Prism PSA 10 Silver pops up, my phone will alert me, and I can decide if I want to buy it or try to negotiate with that seller. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I know it was a lot to kind of take in. If you guys have any questions, definitely be sure to reach out to me. You can catch me on the High Upside Show on Instagram or Twitter. That's probably where I'm most active at. And yeah, be sure to leave a comment on this podcast. Let me know what you thought about it. I would love a review from you guys. Obviously looking for that 5-star or, however they rank them. And that's it for today, guys. Happy investing, and I'll catch you in the next one.